Hi everyone, welcome back to another little painting demonstration. And this is a little pen ink drawing I did on my trip around the river last week. Didn't have time to paint it on site, so I brought it back to the studio and thought that you might find it useful. Basically it's a very loose drawing and it's on a relatively small piece of paper, so there's very limited detail in it. So basically the way I'm going to tackle this is just to block in all the colours and keep it, as I keep saying, very simple. So I'm basically starting off with a wash of yellow ochre with some cadmium red and a touch of cobalt blue in it, just for the stonework. And as I move my way around the stonework, I'm going to be using some lemon yellow with a little bit of cobalt blue in it too, just for the bottom areas, because there, for some reason, from a distance it looked like the stonework was kind of had a green tinge to it, which I guess is kind of like algae on the building. So that's just being suggested by the lemon yellow and cobalt blue. And in places in there I'll add a little bit of warmer mix of yellow ochre and cadmium red, just to vary the mix so it's not all one colour throughout. So all I'm doing really, like I said, is just blocking in the main areas of colour. Once you've got your pen ink drawing down, it doesn't matter if you're not a great drawer, just do the best you can. But once you've actually blocked in, sketched in the areas in ink, it's very much just like as we did as a child using a colouring book. We're just literally filling in those areas with colour. So it does take an awful lot of pressure off you when you're painting. So I would recommend this for beginners to have a go. So this part of the wall I'm doing now has a slightly redder, sort of purpley reddish, I don't know what colour you would call it really. It's a mixture of colours toned to the actual wall. So I just changed my colours there a little bit by adding a little bit of alizarin, crimson to the mix, and a bit more cobalt blue, and I've just dropped that in. Now I've moved on to the tree, and for that I'm just using lemon yellow and cobalt blue. You can test out your mixes on a piece of paper first to make sure you've got the right strength and right colour. Just sketching that in lightly, not worrying about keeping within the pen lines. I'm sort of like going over the edges in places. It doesn't matter, as long as you do that uniformly throughout the painting, then that will be absolutely fine. You don't have to keep within the lines all the time if you want to paint nice and loosely. And I've just added a little bit more blue to the mix here, and working my way down the bottom, the darker area of the tree. Some of these surrounding washes are still damp, so the tree is getting like a diffuse soft edge in places, which is fine. Some little bushes on the right hand side. These bushes really help to balance the painting quite nicely by having some darks in that bottom right hand corner. That really helps to balance it. Now we're going to go on to painting the roof, and for that I'm just using a little bit of cobalt blue, a little bit of alizarin, crimson, and a touch of yellow ochre, just to block in the roof shape. I'm not doing anything complicated there, it's just making sure you've got the right mix, and then just blocking in the colour. Very simple. And I use that kind of mix depending. Sometimes I add a bit more yellow if it's greyer, but for most of my roofs I paint. Now we're just dropping in the shadow side of the cathedral there, and for that it's just yellow ochre, alizarin crimson, and a touch of cobalt blue, slightly on the warmer side, so it's got more sort of yellow and crimson in than blue. I really enjoyed doing this sketch actually. It was so nice to sketch with a pen. I haven't done it for a long time, and it was just a lovely free. The pen rolls on the paper very nicely. It's a completely different feeling of sketching with a pencil. It's really worth having a go if you haven't tried it. It's an exciting way to paint. Make sure you get a waterproof pen when you do it, because if not, when you come to paint, the pen lines will run. You also want to make sure you get a light fast one, so that the pen ink doesn't start going brown after a couple of months if it's exposed to sunlight or daylight for too long. You can get them from most good art shops for a couple of £1 each. They're not very expensive. Now we're just sort of doing the finish. We're blocking the windows, and for that I've used the same colour, just with a bit more blue in than I've used for all the shadows. So it's basically cobalt blue, alizarin crimson, and a touch of yellow ochre for the windows. And you can see my palette there, just mixing the colours. There's a slightly bit more blue in these windows here, but I've really just roughly put those in, as you can see. Just suggesting the brickwork on that end. It's when you actually look at it in real life, it's very complex, but I've simplified it, and I don't think anybody that knows that cathedral would really argue with me on that. It's just, we've just simplified it, and that's the beauty of painting. We can do that. Now just adding a bit more shadow to the trees, a bit more detail. Now we're gradually approaching the end of the painting. So in total I've edited this down to about 8 minutes, but in total the painting took me about 14 minutes I suppose to paint, and another 10-15 minutes to draw. So it's about a 30-minute sketch in total, to give you some idea. Final detail to the tree, bottom right hand corner. Don't forget to come along to purewatercolour.com. There's a link underneath the video. If you're interested in finding out more and seeing more videos, we have plenty there. So it'd be great to see you in the forum and the chat room. Lots of artists there sharing their work, and very talented artists. Last little bits of detail. So I'll let you watch the last little 30 seconds in peace. Thanks very much for watching, and there'll be plenty more videos coming again soon. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.